Yes, no, big up, man.
What you saying, man?
Yeah, man, I saw the link, and so I just clicked on, man. I'm down to chat and that about anything, man. I thought I'd just jump on.
Who do you support?
Arsenal, bro, Arsenal.
Arsenal. What's your thoughts on Arsenal?
Man, you know what? I think genuinely, I think it's like a season where we genuinely have to get over the line, and it like we've literally like been saying now for the past however many seasons, yeah, that we're gonna finish like as a bottle job, or we're gonna do it runners up again, and the manager needs to go, this and that. Like it's just got to a point now where it's just like, bro, like that time's got to be coming. Like surely, like if you look at like even like with Wenger and it, like those days, like he it took him a bit of time, but when he done it, it was great. And I think some fans have that kind of mindset now, in that like they think that Arteta can do the same sort of job with the squad that he's got now, not realizing that we want more trophies than what we got under Wenger. Despite what he done was so incredible, like for us to go a whole season unbeaten, no manager will ever do that ever again. But yet people overlook that. But it's like I've said this like before. Actually, I think I said it on Twitter that I think we'll genuinely win the quadruple this season. Like people might say I'm deluded for that, but I hold myself accountable for that. I genuinely do think that.
You think we can do the quadruple? Why do you feel like that?
The reason I feel like that is because I feel as though like cup football is so unpredictable, but like at the same time, like we seem to like rise to the challenge, like in cup games, like especially Champions League, and like last season, for example. I know we've like never won it, but at the same time, it's like we've never won the Champions League, but then it's like other cups like that aren't as big, we normally win. Like even like the saddest thing for me, I think, like with silverware, is when I see us lift that flipping Community Shield or flipping, what is it, Emirates Cup. It's just not good enough, man.
You said we seem to rise up for the cups. When's the last time we won a cup?
Community Shield, wasn't it?
That's not a cup, bro. That's not a cup, bro.
It's not, that's what
It's the only super cup. That's the only super cup that's not played with traditional rules, dude. That's a throwaway fucking thing. That ain't no trophy.
Oh, it was FA Cup. Literally, that would have been the last trophy we won, the FA Cup.
The FA Cup is, but the FA Cup team that won wasn't his team.
Yeah,
This is his team. He hasn't won with his team. They need, brother. I appreciate the positivity. I do, because I've been supporting Arsenal for 20 years. I'm not an original Arsenal head. I got into Arsenal because my step grandfather is British, and he got me into the Premier League. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Arsenal, we need to hope for a double. Champions League ain't happening. If we pull off the Champions League, I'd be shocked. And the only reason why I say that is all the other teams that won a Champions League in recent memory that never won it before built up the winning mentality, winning trophies. We can hate Chelsea and City all they want. Look at how many trophies they won before they won the Champions League. This team hasn't gotten over the line yet. This team is still, for right now, a bunch of what if, buts, and maybes. We got to go out here and prove that we're going to go out and do it. If we get a double, I'm fine with it. Because
what do you think it is then? Like genuine question, like with the fan base and the squad now, everyone's don't rotate,
It's the manager and rotation.
Or do you think it's down to the constant injuries of our players?
Brother, the constant injuries is because the manager doesn't rotate. He only rotates when he has to.
Do you feel as though like Ethan Ranieri should have had more minutes than he has this season?
Absolutely. Absolutely, he should have gotten more minutes. Even Dauman should have got minutes outside of just the League Cup game, bro. It doesn't. If you're good enough, you're good enough, brother. Like this.
Do you think
real
that
talk? This is the thing that I have a problem with English fans, and I'm not trying to make this personal or anything else, but English fans recently are trying to rework how the game works. They're trying to rethink this sport differently than how it was back in the day. Every team that has gone on to win has used rotation. People are telling me that we have to put the starting 11 out against Bournemouth. We have to put the starting 11 out. Brother, if you spent $1 billion and you didn't build a squad and you still think that you have to throw your best 11 against a shit team that's not playing good, the team's not good enough. The team is not good enough.
You know what I think though as well? I think in the cup games, I feel as though it's not just league games, like even like Carabao Cup. I'm not like, because before it would be like, if you're not rotating or if you're not if you're not playing your strongest 11, then you're not taking the cup competition seriously. But I think for us, it's more like he's not really rotating, so it's kind of a bit of both, really. I think, like he's playing like, okay, last season was great, but it's not great. It's not great really because we didn't get over the line. We didn't win it. Like, yeah, it's good to have a cup run, but how many times are we going to have a cup run until our frustrations just get the better of us as Arsenal fans? You know what I mean? Like,
but that's why I'm saying this is all on the manager now. We have a squad. We have one of the deepest squads in the league. This is one of the best squads that Arsenal has had in a long time. There is no excuses now, especially with what just happened today. With City drawing today, there's no more.
All those results, like, cheers to
Yeah, but we've seen. But the problem is, we've seen this in the past. If we draw tomorrow, we're still within the points range of him blowing it. He blew an 8-point lead, and it was self-inflicted, whether anybody likes it or not. People can say all this nonsense of, he didn't expect to figure out to play ball the way that he did, and we were too young. Bullshit. You fucked up your team on your own by taking Trossard out, who was the best player in the Premier League for 2 solid months. You forced Jesus back. We won 1 game in 7, and you shot us in the foot. Those are the facts at the end of the day.
You not feel as though there's a bit of like, I don't know, like a sick vendetta, an agenda against Arsenal?
Brother, the only agenda is Arsenal hasn't won a league in 21 years. If you walk away, okay, take Arsenal out of the picture. Go to Italy. Which one of those 3 teams between Juventus, Milan, and Inter is going to say it's okay to deal with the process and we're not going to win a trophy for 21 years? Which team is accepting that? More importantly, which fan base is accepting that? None of them.
None of them, yeah, 100%.
Okay? You go to Spain, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Neither one of them are accepting that. Bayern Munich's not accepting that. This is Arsenal. We need to have the same mentality like these other clubs. The disbelief, the stupidity of running this club and not winning for 21 years has allowed other clubs who, whatever the circumstances are, get closer to us in a trophy haul. That's not how this is supposed to work. It's not how this is supposed to work. I don't give a fuck if Roman Abramovich came in with $1 billion. That's not supposed to work that way. This is Arsenal. I don't give a shit if a Sheik came in with Manchester City. I don't give a shit. This is Arsenal. That's what our mentality needs to be. It doesn't matter who came in with how much money. The mentality needs to be is, this is Arsenal. We're not tolerating this shit. And the manager, to his own discredit, has not operated at this club with that mentality, which is why so many people are skeptical of us winning even at this point in the league, because we've been bit for so long by this. And that's
100% though. And I think at the end of the day, results, no matter what club, especially a club the size of us, it's like, come on, it's going to come back on the manager, isn't it? Like, how many other teams, like, kind of going back to what you were saying, if you look at like Juventus, any team in La Liga, any team in Syria, that's a big club and doesn't get over the line the way we have year in, year out, do you think they'd keep their manager? No, he'd be sacked.
More
Arteta won big
importantly,
money, bro.
George, can I ask you, how old are you?
25, bro.
You're 25. Cool. So you don't remember us winning the league title? You don't remember us winning the league title?
Bit too young. I've got memories of
It's very
saying,
vague.
like, yeah, I've got like
Yeah.
very vague memories of it, and like when I had like the annual, so like 2003 for the Arsenal like official club annual. So I obviously read that obviously because it was my first love, realistically, like like within football, like just Arsenal Football Club, like just everything about it, the players we had back then. Like we'll never have a team as good as that again. That's just a fact.
I don't know if we won't ever. I think we'll never reach that if the fan base doesn't try to get back to those standards, because we definitely have the finances to get back to that, you know, and I think we've shown that. And I think that the Emirates, coming to the Emirates and starting this Emirates era was to be able to spend more money. With spending more money, I was expecting us to be able to win the same, if not more, with the finances that we're getting. I asked that not because I'm trying to call you out, wherever you're born when you're born. Do you feel like, you know, when you said the quadruple and stuff like that, do you feel like that because this is the best that you remember seeing us in terms of watching a whole season, being old enough? Is that why you feel like that we could win a quadruple?
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, I mean, I feel as though, like, you know, like 2 seasons ago, I feel as though that was when we really should have won the Premier League. We didn't. And then obviously to have the run that we did in the Champions League last season and not win that as well, it was just like a bit of a wow moment, to be fair. Like, how many like more times is it going to be where, you know, like I'm frustrated, man. I'm frustrated, to be fair. Like, just no trophies, bro. Lack of trophies.
But why are you frustrated if you're predicting, you know what I'm saying? If you're predicting that we're going to be able to win the quadruple, why are you frustrated?
Just the fact that, you know, like we always seem to like go so far, but then fall so short. But it's almost like basically, I think the reason we will win the quadruple is because I believe the squad's good enough. I believe that, you know, if the manager takes it seriously enough, you know, we'll surpass a lot of teams in, say, like the FA Cup, Carabao Cup. I don't think those sort of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think those sort of cup competitions have the same like glitz and glamour as they did a few years ago.
I don't know on that.
I don't know. You don't sound sorry, but you don't sound certain on the manager, but you've predicted that we'll win the quad. For him to win the quad, that means that he needs to change, like you said, which I agree, the way that he plays football and manage the team properly. But to come out and say we're going to win the quad, I would think you'd be more assertive that, yeah, the manager is going to change and we are going to be able to level up and we are going to be able to play the right way. But you sound as iffy about the manager as me and Gianni do.
No, 100%. You know why? Because this manager, yeah, like we're in January now and it's the transfer window. And at the end of the day, I look at it now, like the squad depth that we've got in the team is like second to none. I mean, you can rotate, you can have like so many players filtering in so many different positions and playing so many different positions because our players that we have within our squad are capable of playing in these different specific positions. And I believe that the squad that we have now isn't solely down to Arteta. Like the likes of Wanyeri, Lewis Skelly, like those sort of players, they've come through our system anyway. So the manager can't take no credit for like our homegrown players from Harrow End and that. But at the same time, like a lot of the players he's brought in, like Gyökeres, people like slate at him, but they don't realise like the physical presence that he gives us up front and what I've always said about Gyökeres is that yes, he's got experience in like English football and only in the Premier League before with Brighton, but at the same time, like the guy's in a new team, he's at a big club, he's never really had a fair shot at Premier League football, in my opinion, and he's been thrown in the deep end after like what was more than impressive, like, you know, GA at Sporting. It's just crazy to think that, you know, he's come in and he hasn't really, I wouldn't say he hasn't hit the ground running, because I think the game against Leeds, I think that's the best we've seen of Gyökeres. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you agree.
I think Gyökeres not scoring is because of Arteta.
Yeah, I think it's down to the system. Like, I think the 4-3-3. I think it's difficult because I feel as though like when we're watching Arsenal, and we used to be the passing team, and we all loved Wenger ball, and it was, you know, we was a good team to watch. It was entertaining football. Like when we used to watch Arsenal, like there was so much joy, like just watching us play under Wenger, compared to now. Like when I feel as though the formation, like I feel as though he doesn't really, like there's too much in game. Like I think North has said it before on one of his streams, like there's too much like in game, like tactics, like and things happening where he's changing it and having players just out of position, or they find themselves being on the pitch in a position that they shouldn't really be in. And there's been times where it has cost us in certain games, but then it's like you don't ever see the manager change his formation. You don't ever see him go to like a 4-3-3 holding or a 4-3-3 more attacking style of play. It's always like in-game management with Arteta, and I don't really like that about him. I think, you know, like us as fans, like it wouldn't hurt, would it, to just see us play a different formation, a bit more rotation, a bit more unpredictability.
Mm-hmm. That's what's going on this team. That's why I don't think we'll win the Champions League.
That's why I don't understand, personally, I don't understand why you said quad, because you've got a lot of question marks and there's a lot of ifs and buts. I mean, you can have question marks if you said, okay, we'll win a trophy this season. I can understand why you would say that. I'm still I got a massive question mark.
More or less, no. Like, if I'm being genuinely honest, yeah, like, you know, like I can't factually back it up at the minute, but the thing is like we haven't won a trophy for how long? So, like, for me to say like, you know, a quadruple as an Arsenal fan, like, you know, I want us to win all 4 this season, like, you know, imagine that for a parade, man. Like, the team.
Yeah, but wanting and analyzing what you see are two different things. I want Arsenal. We all want Arsenal.
This year, break the mold and own your ritual with Liquid IV. Fast.
But then I'm not going to say.
I want to see Arsenal get put in the same fucking category as the teams I was just saying, dude.
Exactly.
Just because I'm in America or anything else, I want to see Arsenal go on. You spent $1 billion. I want to see Arsenal in the next 7 to 10 years be in the conversation with the Liverpool of the 70s and 80s, the Milan of the Maldini era, the Inter of the Moratti area. I want to see fucking Arsenal win now. 10 to 20 fucking trophies because we spent $1 billion. There's a requirement to hit that amount of money. That's the reason why there is this divide amongst the fan base, because
I still don't think that like it's right in what people are saying, in that, you know, if we win the Premier League this season, we're going to win it like back to back, or we're going to win it for the next few seasons on the bounce. Like, I think that's a bit of a bold statement to make when you see how much we fall short and how divided our fan base is.
Yeah, but at the same time, brother, if that's the mentality you have, that's why we won't get there. That's the problem. Again, this is what I mean. We've spent $1 billion. We've spent $1 billion to still be, the three of us are still here after £1 billion is spent of talking of if, buts, and maybes. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to hear that shit no more. This team, I got into English football because my grandmother divorced my grandfather, married an Englishman. He's a Chelsea fan. He's got 3 kids. 2 of his kids are Chelsea fans. The other one's a Manchester United fan. I said fuck to both of them clubs and went with Arsenal, especially because I'm a Napoli fan and Arsenal smoked the fuck out of Juve in the Champions League. So I'm sick and tired of 20 years of everybody coming up with excuses to why this fucking team ain't winning. No. Fuck that. Our standard needs to be we're winning titles no matter what. Fuck this project bullshit. Fuck all that other shit. We need to be winning every year. This is Arsenal. If you're the 3rd biggest team in England, you need to be winning every year. Fuck this timid shit. And that's why I have a problem with everything that's going on. We can't be Bottle Job FC no more. Not with $1 billion spent. Fuck out of here. Do you know what would happen to you if you spent $1 billion over 6 years as a coach in Napoli? They'd kill you. They'd kill you. If you have a bad game in Napoli as a player, they'll come and stick you up with a gun in your face and rob your jewelry off. They ain't brother. Fuck that.
We don't condone that on Northside LDN. We do not condone violence.
This is a football discussion. We don't take anything personal.
That's right. That's
hatred,
right.
No.
You know what I mean? This is the internet, Gianni, not the street, Gianni.
I hear you, but bro, you get what I'm coming from.
I get what you're saying.
$1 billion spent. This better be the last season where I only see maybe 1 trophy as Arsenal.
Yeah.
This season needs to be at least 2 trophies. Next season needs to be 2 trophies, and the season after that needs to be at least 2 trophies. That's the standard of what this club needs to be.
I can't lie. I feel like you're personally, like, obviously it's your opinion, but I just feel like you understand where the manager's falling short, but then you're going with what you're seeing on the internet for Arsenal fans saying quad. Because where's this quad thing start? I can't lie. It came from Top Gooners. I wasn't hearing no quad. Even we weren't saying no quad talk. Even when we said, yo, the manager, I didn't even us that's labeled negative. We're like, yo, he doesn't even need to win a quad to keep his job. For me, I'll talk for me. Yeah, I'm saying all I asked was a major. I didn't even ask for a quad. I mean, if you're sitting there saying, yo, we struggle in the cups. If a manager's struggling to win a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup again with his own squad, I think it's too big of an ask for a quad. I'm saying I think it's too big of an ask asking this manager to win a major because I don't believe he can win a major. So stretching that to say, yo, we can win a quad, I don't get it because I don't know what it's based on apart from internet talk. What's it based on?
Do you not think that, like, with the squad that we've got now, that like we'd be able to win the quadruple and that, you know, we'd be able to, like, at least? No,
I think they can win I think they can win the Carabao. I think they can do a double if the squad is used correctly. I don't think that they can go and win a quad. I can't lie. I think Arsenal fans are overrating this squad. If we're going to go through this squad, cool. Ethan's a very good player, but he's not a world-class player. So we need to just chill on that. He's a developing player. So is Dowman. Norgard, this manager doesn't rate, and nobody wants him to start. Zubimendi is nowhere near the level of Partey. Yes, we've got Mascara and Hincapié that can rotate, and they've been decent. Cool. Yeah, cool. That's decent cover. Timber's very good. Ben White has not been the same Ben White since the injury. Saka's regressing. Martinelli inconsistent and has deficiencies to his game. And Trossard he stepped up recently, but another one that can go missing. Then we've got 2 strikers that are basically players that they're more midfielders than they are strikers. They keep the ball ticking, they play the false.
A world of laughter, discovery, and first jumps. Where every bounce.
Amazing squad that we have. Like, we've got a very good, and I'm not saying the squad ain't good enough to win a league title, because if managed correctly, we can. But when you deep the players, there's a lot of good potential players. There's steady eddies. And then there's a lot of players that are very inconsistent. Those are the 3 types that we got on the bench. Where people are saying this is the best in Europe, I don't understand, because nobody wants to start Norgard. Most of his fan base don't want to play Ethan or Dowman. Everyone's given up on Jesus and Havertz. The other day, they're already 2 games in. They already say, "Oh yeah, this is why we can't count on Jesus because he's not clinical." When you're telling me that, bro, like as if we ain't seen it for the last 2-3 years.
When they were swearing up and down,
what I think about Jesus though, like people can take this either the right way or the wrong way. Like with Jesus, like he can play on the left wing, so when he plays on the left wing, what you notice with him is he's very effective, and he's one of those players that if he starts the game, he can score a goal, or if he comes off the bench, he can get an assist or score or an impact play quite effectively. However, what some of our thick fan base don't realise is that he suffered 2 ACLs and 2 different in his right leg and his left leg. So, you know, like when I heard that news, I had the, you know, opinion that I don't care what any Arsenal fan says, like he will not come back the same player. Like you don't suffer 2 ACLs and come back the same player. And like a bit of like what you were saying, North, in that like why are fans saying, you know, after 2 games that, you know, saying what they're saying and stuff. Like the guys come back and look pretty fine to me. I actually don't think he suffered 2 ACLs, if I'm being completely honest. Like he kind of looks the same player, but we're just not seeing enough of him. I mean, another thing though is that people don't realise he was a better player at Man City, but they don't realise that was because of the system at Man City. So like the manager Pep, obviously Arteta was there as well at the time, assistant manager to Pep. But you know, it's a different, like, I don't know, like it's just mad.
Jesus
like,
is better as a left, bro. Jesus is not a striker. He's better at a left wing.
Exactly.
He's not built to be a striker. I hear you on that because I would start him as left wing.
That's what I said. Like what you notice with him on the left wing is
I'd be cool with that. But at the same time, here's the problem with that though. We're having problems scoring goals. So we can't.
They're only coming from set pieces, but like we all miss the days where we could string about 20 passes together and then get a goal at the end of some fantastic team football. Now we can only score from set pieces. Like we can't even get a goal from open play, and when we do, it's because we've, I don't know, like come up against a team who's really played a low block, and we, you know, people will say, "Oh, you got lucky because you know it rebounded," and all this like tactical bullshit that's involved in football now, like VAR, and you know it's just taking the joy away from watching the game anyway. So.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see, because there's still a lot to prove to me, to be honest. And I'm very cautious. I don't know what type of Arsenal we're gonna get today.
But even what you were saying, North, regarding Kai Havertz, like with Kai Havertz, like I'm hearing, well, it was actually released obviously yesterday now, but that apparently he's going to be getting some minutes against Liverpool today.
Well,
and basically I remember the reason I brought it up is because I was watching one of your streams and I remember you saying like before about him rushing players back, and it would be interesting to see if he does it with Kai Havertz, and by the looks of it, mate, he's going to do that, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was rushing Gabriel and what is it, Saliba and Trossard against Wolves and Aston Villa. So we've been seeing him do this anyway. We've seen him rush Ben White back. We've seen him rush Saka back. We've seen him rushing Odegaard back. There's something that he does. He got his favourites, and this is why when the fan base talk about the squad, but the manager doesn't believe in the squad. He doesn't believe in the squad because as soon as he has an option, he wants to play his favourites. You know, Eze. I'm not saying Eze's been perfect because that would be a complete lie. He hasn't been perfect, but he's been effective. And I feel like it was his number 10 role for Odegaard to fight for. But Odegaard comes back and he just walks back in. I know we scored a good goal the other day, but at the same time, you have to fight for your spot. You can't just be giving your spot like that. Like Players at Real Madrid have to fight for their spot. Players at Bayern Munich have to fight for their spot. When you're in a big club, you have to fight for your spot. You don't just get given it like that. Oh, well, you're back. Well, guess what? Well, guess what, Gianni? You got a whole bench because George is going to start. No, it don't work like that. Like, you know what I mean? And I think there's a lack of accountability in this squad. There's accountability for bench players. There's no accountability for the starters. Calafiori can put in a starter, to stinker, he'll start. Yeah, I'm saying Trossard and Martinelli, they don't really get treated the same as the other starters. But Saka,
you know how you mentioned Eze? I feel as though because people are saying that, you know how he was on the bench the last 4 games, that it's that they're scared that he might have picked up a knock or that he's injured, but I think it's actually a tactical perspective, and I think that he's doing that as to prove something, either to Eze or to whoever he's starting ahead of Eze, because I'm not being funny, but if you put Eze on the left wing, he'll do something. If you put him in the 10, he'll do something. He can't play in the 10 at Arsenal, but he can play in a position Martin Odegaard can play. But Odegaard's not a 10. Odegaard's
Tell the man that.
With Odegaard, he's one of those players, you get him on the ball, he makes things happen. Out of possession, he's trying to dictate play. You don't really see him shoot much, and it a lot of the time it's cutbacks, and he's tapping it in, or he'll hit one hard and low, and he'll find the bottom corner. But it's very rare that you see Odegaard score bangers like Granit Xhaka. I'm slating Odegaard because I love him. He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, but that's on the manager though, bro. Because before last season, when Odegaard didn't have the fucking handbrake on him, the man was scoring double-digit goals. That's why this is all back down to the manager. Everything.
No, I know. Yeah, I mean it's true. But do you remember the Martin Odegaard that we used to see, where he'd be so silky, you watch him and you just think there was just something about him, his style of play, the way he used to just pass the ball, pull up skill moves, or he'd play a killer pass, or something. But now he's not with Odegaard. The class is always there, but then it comes back to form with him. But he's our captain, so he has a bigger how can I say it? He's got a bigger expectation to live up to as a whole, really. Probably feels more pressure on him at times than, I don't know, we've got vice captains in the squad though that don't even have the role he's got, so it's it comes down to the manager, and I think it also comes down to people's personal personalities.
Yeah, but again, that's the thing, bro. That's where guys like me and North have our opinions that are different than majority of the fan base. Again, that goes back to what I'm saying. If you're gonna try to uphold an institution, right? Arsenal's an institution within England. The institution needs to be held up by the standards. We cannot have players that are out here lollygagging and bullshitting every other fucking game. That's not you can't allow that. I'm sorry, you can't allow that. If we're the third biggest team in England, that means we're in the same category as Olympique Lyon, Marseille, Saint-Etienne, as PSG in France. That means you're at the same category as Juve, Inter, and Milan in Italy. That means you're at the same category as Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and I don't even know who would be the third biggest team in Germany because of how that is. But that means you're of a different ilk. You're of a different ilk. You need to fucking be winning every year. And that's where the problem is with this team. Arteta needs to be winning every year. That's why there is a problem that if we run down the history of football for a team that has spent $1 billion, this is the only team that has spent $1 billion and still hasn't won shit.
I have a lot of respect for yourself and North. I mean, like, I watch North's channel pretty well. I say a lot. I watch it when I get the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, I normally, if I see the option to put a notification bell on for North's channel, I'll do that. And like a lot of what he says is there's a lot of logical sense in what he, you know, how he comes across and like the way he speaks on the streams and what he says about the club and, you know, the streams and the shows that he puts on for people that subscribe to his channel. Like, big up to North, and credit to North, because you know I highly respect what he does on the platform, and you know I really do buy into a lot of what he talks about with the club, because you know, like I say, he's always got people in the chat engaging and stuff. Not everyone's on the same, you know, got it all up there like North, but for whatever reason, I don't know. But yeah, man, big up yourself, North, man.
Big up, my G. Big up, bro. And like I said, you came on, you said quad. I didn't agree with it. But at the end of the day, we don't always have to agree on everything. We can debate it. For me, I don't have no problem with Arsenal fans. People think that I cook Arsenal fans. I cook the ones I feel like are disingenuous. People are playing a game. I feel like you're playing a game on behalf of mocking my club and gaining off of it. And I think that that's a mockery. If you're an Arsenal fan, I feel like you can say your honest opinion. I don't have to agree with it. Yeah, I'm not God. But at the same time, let it be your true opinion. When I see people playing games, I don't respect it, because
I know exactly what you mean, because like it comes back to, for me, I think, and I've heard it before with certain fans where they've come out and they'll say like, oh yeah, so and so's just jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know,
At the end of the day,
dude, fuck that shit what other fans are saying, dude. It's for yourself. If you're an Arsenal fan and you know we're the third biggest team in England, fuck what them other fans are talking about. We should be winning.
well, that's what it is.
Fuck what them other fans are talking about, because majority of these other fans is talking bullshit.
And you know what it is, like a lot of them haven't been fans like for the length of time that, you know, like say like we have, or you know, they haven't followed the club since like for me, like I followed Arsenal since like a very, very young age. Like I'm talking like toddler, like and you know, growing up, and I'm sure it's the same for like it's the same for North, it's the same for yourself, like, you know, like a lot of fans now. And it comes back to what I was saying, just in the sense that they jump on the bandwagon. So because of the way our club is and our fan base is very, very emotional, people that see some of us on YouTube and see the fans, etc., do a bit of research, maybe see that, oh, we have a lot of famous people that support our club as well, and they start to support our club and take a liking to our club. But they don't have a love for the club the same way we do, and they don't understand what the club's actually, you know, gone through in the past, or, you know, they don't know enough about the club to even really.
The arrogance of this fan base, bro. The arrogance of this fan base is when they don't like your message, no matter how much you're factually proven right, which we've been factually proven right for 6 years, they don't change their mind. But they would want us to change our mind if we win the league this season. That's the hypocrisy of this fan base. If we win the league and I come out and I say, I don't give a shit, I don't give a fuck, this manager's shit, they'd be like, yeah, but we won the league. But by the same logic, why should I be Arteta in if 6 years he doesn't win the league?
Facts.
It doesn't. It's a hypocrisy. They want me to change my mind based on facts that suit their narrative. I don't have a narrative. I have an expectation. When my expectation is met, I am happy. When my expectation is not met, then I have a problem. Because with money comes expectation. With a big club comes expectation. If this fan base cannot accept that there's expectation supporting a big club, support a small club.
Yep.
Why do we have to lower what our club are for them to feel happy? Fuck off. Because when you want to talk about Invincibles, big club. When you want to talk about winning at White Hart Lane, big club. When you want to talk about, oh, big...
Date now on Bumble.
Against Arsenal.
Yep.
Just like Arsenal fans have an expectation when Chelsea spend money, win trophies. When Liverpool have a good team, win trophies. When Man United spend money, why are you not winning? Your club's in the mud. Why does it change when it's Arsenal? Why?
because you want to be comfortable in failure, because you want to be chatting shit on Twitter, you want to chat shit on YouTube. That's what it comes down to. It's small man mentality. And at the end of the day,
You know what it is as well, though. I think with like
no,
some of the
let me just say this, bro. At the end of the day, yeah. At the end of the day, these men are hypocrites, yeah, because they have a standard when it's Unai. They weren't struggling to find their standards when it was Unai. But now that it's Arteta, oh well, maybe let's talk about this, let's talk about that. No, bro.
At the end of the day, yeah, this fan base is the most hypocritical fan base I've ever met in my fucking life. They had no problem getting rid of Unai because they had an expectation. Where the fuck is the expectation gone for this guy? Why has it changed? It's still the same club. What? It's still the fucking same club. So if FA Cup, if getting to a European final and not having your pieces and your players and all that, oh well, we have to get rid of Unai. Well, then you should have high expectations for a manager that's got more money, more time, and the players that he wants. Surely the expectation should be higher.
Mhm.
But they don't want to have those conversations. You know why? I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this. This generation, I have nothing against you, but you're one of the softest, most feminine fucking generation I've ever met in my life. I have to keep it honest because it's always about, but what about us? But this, but that. Oh, I can't believe that you said this about Arsenal. Do you know what gets you respect in football? Winning fucking trophies. Chelsea, when they started coming up, there was a fucking expectation. When they had Roman, everyone's like, yeah, you're spending big money. What you winning? They made you respect them. Because when I was growing up, these men weren't in the conversation to win titles. Yeah? When Man City got money, people were bashing them. Oh, fucking oil money. Look at these lot fucking cheap. Do you know what made them respected? Trophies.
Yep.
Do you know what made Man United? Do you know what made Man United? Man United was respected by Liverpool. Do you know why? Because Fergie fucking caught up to them in league titles. That's what made them respected. This fan base wants respect with no fucking trophy and success. It doesn't work like that in life. Anything you do, you want to have a girl? Well, guess what? She's gonna one day tell you, are we official or are we not? Because you're wasting my fucking time. When you get with a girl, then she's like, are you gonna put a ring in it or not? Are we gonna buy a house? Are we gonna have a future? Are you gonna look after me? Are you gonna get a better job? There's nowhere in life where you don't have expectation. And if you want to avoid expectation, you best believe your mum's gonna look down on you, your girl's gonna look down on you, your family's gonna look down on you, society's gonna look down on you. There's nowhere in life where there's no expectation of you. You have to make something of your fucking life. So if I have to make something of my life and I'm the average Joe, why am I giving a bunch of fucking excuses to people that are receiving millions of pounds a year to be representing my club? Logically, this fan base can't answer me because it doesn't happen in real life. There is expectation, bro. This fan base, yeah, we have a generation of people that are fucking entitled, think, oh, on Instagram, oh, I want to wear trap star and all that. Well, fucking work for it. Yeah, work for it. This is where this mentality is coming from. Oh, and
you know what it is though, North, as well? It's not even about having.
I want to be a Bali. No. This expectation comes from I want shit without having to work for shit. I've noticed it, and the women are following suit, and they're having the same shit. Oh, I got a house, but I don't. Oh, but so and so's doing this and that. The grass always looks greener. I don't want to work hard. But this is not fair. But this and that. Well, guess what? The generation that came before this generation, which is me, we had to work for shit. Yeah, and we had to grind for shit, and we didn't come from shit. So guess what? It's fucking life. And this fan base don't want to look at life. And I'm talking about this because it affects everything in your life. Every aspect of your life. Nothing ain't gonna happen. Bro, when I was chatting shit on my channel and I was saying, yo, I was gonna go to Barca. Imagine if I didn't do it. Oh no, if you're chatting shit, you're gonna go to Barca. You didn't go there. Guess what? I'm here. And this ain't my country. I made it fucking happen. Yeah,
motherfuckers would still be talking shit about you if you didn't make it.
I was in that stream actually when you was on about it, and you know, like just watching it, like it was like a bit emotional, like, you know what I mean. But you know, like I knew it was for a good cause, like I knew.
Yeah, but what he's doing, and again, not to sound like a fanboy towards North, what he's doing should be inspiring a lot of people that watch it.
100%.
Because he's putting wherever he's saying he's putting his money where his fucking mouth is. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't want to fucking do that shit. They want fucking excuses in case they fail. And that's not how the fucking world works, brother. Sorry. If you want a fucking security blanket every time you fucking fail at something, guess what? Don't leave your mother. Stay with your mother until you're fucking 60. That's how the world works. Go out and get it.
She'll cuddle you. She'll cuddle you.
One thing I will say though is like even like the likes of like Ian Wright,
them boys are paid. Them boys are paid, bro. Don't listen to
even like other people, like other pundits or whatever, like they'll always talk about Arsenal, but it's very rare you see us talk about like their clubs. And then like with Man United, for example, just touching base on like when North mentioned Fergie. With Fergie, like they'll never ever have a manager as good as him. And like North's older than me, and even he'll tell anyone the same thing that watches his channel. They will never have a manager.
But they don't need to though. They don't need to. All they need to do is get a manager that wins success, get the next one. We've seen it happen in football all the time.
Any new manager that comes into their club now to be on Fergie's level.
But they don't. But you don't need. But this is the thing. Yeah. Why do we need to? When Fergie retired and Wenger retired, everyone said, "Yo, that's the end of managerial reigns that last that long."
Yep.
You don't need to. Like Man City have had Mancini. They've had Pep. Cool. Pep stayed there. Pep stayed there because of trophies. But at the same time, you don't need to.
For the time period, like say Wenger and Fergie, you know. They're like longevity managers.
But you don't need it though. Like, let's be real. Like in the last 20 years, look how successful Chelsea have been, yeah? And they don't have managers that have been there a long time. They had Ancelotti. Do you know what I'm saying? They've had Di Matteo win them a Champions League. They had Tuchel win them a Champions League. Do you know what I'm saying? They had Conte win them a league title. You don't have to have that. What you need
Same with Inter and AC Milan. It's the same thing. It's the standard overall at the club. See, here's one of the problems. Fuck talking about these managers, because the managers can only represent the club. It's the club at the end of the day. So it goes by your standards. Fuck that shit. Doesn't matter who the manager is. You could wait again, Northland, when I said this last time, you could fucking pray to whoever you pray to, whoever's on duty. Allah, Buddha, Jesus, it doesn't fucking matter. You can call them into the club you support tomorrow. If they don't fucking win, fuck off. That's what the standard of what your club should be, no matter what it is. Now, if you're talking about a fucking Burnley or something else, it's a different kettle of fish. We're talking about Arsenal here. Fuck all these other excuses.
Hi, I'm Paul, CEO at CAPITALISE.com, and I know how running a business can be tough. But getting
is what is demanded of this stature of a club. That's just based on history. You throw the money into it, now it's at least a double is what is required every year for the foreseeable future. You can add, brother, live by the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. The club, everybody should live by that. These clubs should be operating on that, especially when you're a bigger club. Fuck that. This club should be winning a trophy every year, no excuses. A manager should only be getting 2 to 3 years at this club, at this level and caliber of a club. You don't win in 3 years, fuck off.
No, I agree. I mean,
club should be. Fuck
when
when
you look at like other managers that like, you know, like North said, Di Matteo, managers like that. If they can win like big trophies, I mean, look at Chelsea's squad back then. Like, and then you know you've got a manager in Arteta who's been at our club for like 6 years now, and hasn't won it. He hasn't won one big trophy or one trophy that is applicable to us as fans.
But the problem is your generation, if you go and say that to your generation of Arsenal fans, they will shout at you and they'll try and close down your argument before you even land a point, because and that's what a lot of with Arsenal, a lot of it's bullying.
They're hypocritical, don't know.
Yeah, but they're bullies in the sense of you will let them land their point, but they won't let you land your point, because they know that your point, you're going to get to points where they can't debunk. So what they'll do is clown you and then say, yeah, but look at where you brought us from. Look at where you
they'll
brought us
shift the
from.
narrative.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it. So what they'll do is everybody. You can see it on AFTV all the time. Yardman will jump on there, have his say. They will respect anybody that says the message they want. As soon as the Yardman has something to say, they'll all try close him down. They all try and shout at him. They all try. That's what they're like. I've been on panels. I've seen it for myself multiple times. They don't want to hear it because they don't have an argument.
That get respected on it on there.
Yeah, but it's also because a lot of these fans don't have respect for themselves. It's not only not having respect for the club, it's also they don't have respect for themselves. So they want to grow within the fucking club. Fuck that. This club, again, we are the third biggest team in England. Standards should already be set for this team that we should not be having discussions about. Doesn't matter what generation it is. Doesn't matter what time period it is. If you're the third biggest team, no matter what fucking country you're in, your expectation is trophies every year. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit what the fuck excuse is. You could have a fucking plane crash in the middle of your field and not have a stadium, your own personal stadium, for 5 years because it's got to rebuild. Guess what? In the guest stadium you get for 5 years, you better still be winning fucking trophies. It don't matter with that shit. If you don't want that type level of accountability, go support one of these other bullshit fucking clubs that doesn't have a hope of winning a trophy every fucking year and wants to come with a sustainable system where it's just about money. This is Arsenal. Fuck all that nonsense. We should be winning every motherfucking year. And I don't care what the excuse is.
At the end of the day, bro, Arsenal fans don't give a shit about excuses for our rivals when they spend money. I don't know why all of a sudden it's magically different for us. We spend the money, right? People kept saying that Wenger couldn't compete because of the money. Well, guess what? We broke our transfer record to flipping get Rice.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? We broke our transfer record under Wenger to get Lacazette, then we got Aubameyang. And it wasn't far apart. Then we're breaking our transfer record to get Pepe. Then we're breaking our transfer record to get Rice. We're no longer losing our best players, which is what we were doing for the last 10 years under Wenger. So what the fuck is the excuse now? I remember when this fan base were telling me, oh, but we're paying off a stadium. Guess what? The Cronkies cleared that fucking debt. So what the fuck is the excuse now? This is why I had enough of this manipulative, condescending bullshit. These men were saying, oh, we can't compete because of money. City only win because of money. Now we spend money. Context. There weren't no context when Chelsea and Man City were spending peas, though. There was no context.
It was the same when like when Wenger was there, though, and we had like Samir Nasri, Fabregas, like, you know, like when sorry, not Fabregas, but Nasri, he was linked with Man City and Man United. And at the time, I think he should have went United, but deep down, I wanted him to stay, but he ended up going to City.
In life, if you want an excuse, bro, you'll find an excuse. If I want to find an excuse not to do something, I'll find any excuse. If I don't want to go into work, I got a dentist appointment. If I don't want to go into work, I need to go to the GP. If I don't want to go to the dentist, if I don't want to go to work, I got to go pick up my auntie. I got to pick up my auntie from the airport.
If you want to find an excuse to not move to Barcelona, you'd have stayed in London.
Like, even if you know exactly what they're talking about, like, just play dumb.
This is what I'm saying. If I don't want to go into work, I got diarrhea. I can't go in. Sorry, mate. I got diarrhea. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want, this is the thing with this fan base. They're always looking for an excuse. They will always find one. They will always find one. So at the end of the day, I don't look for my manager. I had a manager that told me, and I love this saying: don't find me excuses, find me solutions.
Facts.
Find me solutions, bro.
Fucking saying.
Stop talking to me about excuses, bro.
Can I drop one quote that aligns quite well with that? The quote is, time is early. No, on time. Sorry, I got that wrong. On time is early. 1 minute. No, on time is late. 1 minute early is.
No, it's 5 minutes early. It's 1 minute. It's on time is late. 5 minutes early is early.
Yeah. That's what I was elaborating.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, our major honor is 25.
Brother, if you live by that, you're doing better than 90% of this fucking fan base. If if somebody threw a fucking pebble in the middle of the field while Declan Rice is running with the ball, that pebble hits him and it stops, and the other team goes and takes the ball and scores. They're going to be blaming the pebble for 10 years later down the road if they had it their way for not fucking winning. Fuck that bullshit. Fuck that. I'm serious, bro. That's the mentality of why this team has not fucking progressed to where it needs to go.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
But
people don't understand the context. Like, I understand the context of what you just said, but there's a lot of people that won't understand the context. And
context is getting abused nowadays.
That's
win or fuck off.
A few years ago, like, people wouldn't understand the context, and I'd say, you know what, that's okay, but you know, in this day and age now, like, I think, you know, you've got to understand context. Like, it made perfect logical sense what you just explained, and how it's a problem, and it's like that. But you know, a lot of people they will laugh at what you just said, because they don't see the seriousness, and they don't actually believe what you're saying is true because they don't understand the context.
Yeah, but the other thing is they don't really care about the club. A lot of these people hitch their wagon to this club because this is the loudest and biggest fan base on the internet is Arsenal. A lot of these guys have attached their wheel to this fan base because they're looking at it from a money perspective or an influence perspective. Fuck that. If you care about the club, the trophies is what matters. You want your club. Anybody who's a true fan of whatever club it is, doesn't matter where it is, what level it is, doesn't matter. You want your club to be the biggest and baddest in the land. That means winning trophies. We all want Arsenal to be the biggest, baddest in the land. Guess what? It doesn't matter what context. Just fucking win.
Yeah, it means everything. You know what I mean? It's everything. It's from, you know, the merch the club sell. It's, you know, the fan base. It's the manager. It's the players. It's the club as a whole. It's the financial structure. It's everything. Every little detail within the club, you know, is, you know, something that we should all be proud of. But at the same time, like you just said, win some fucking trophies, ain't it?
Yeah.
No, it's what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Listen, big up Jord, first time on the channel. Big up to you, bro. Big up Gianni as always, man. You know what I mean? Big up to the both of you. We're gonna redirect to Lee. He's got an emergency meeting. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Northside Raid on the way in. I'll be back tomorrow for more lives. Obviously, we got the Liverpool